The escalation spiral intensifies. A targeted Israeli strike on Beirut signals a dangerous expansion of the US-Israeli war on Iran into Lebanon. The massive airstrike on the southern suburbs of Beirut represents a critical inflection point, moving the conflict beyond the primary theater of Iran and into the domain of its most powerful regional proxy, Hezbollah.
This action, described by Israel as targeting Hezbollah infrastructure, directly challenges the group's core territory and red lines, occurring nearly 4 weeks into a sustained campaign. Concurrently, the Houthi warning of fingers on the trigger for military intervention underscores the multi-front nature of this crisis, where Iranian-aligned factions are coordinating pressure.
This geographic and tactical expansion risks triggering a full-scale regional war that US officials like Marco Rubio prematurely claim could end in weeks without ground troops.
The proxy war calculus shatters. Israel's direct strike on Beirut demonstrates a strategic shift from containing proxies to decapitating their command structures. The long-standing deterrence equation in the Levant, which relied on calibrated strikes and shadow warfare between Israel and Hezbollah, has been fundamentally breached.
Historically, engagements were confined to the border region, preserving a fragile stability. The strike on Dahieh, Hezbollah's stronghold, indicates an Israeli assessment the cost of inaction against the group's entrenched capabilities outweighs the risk of provoking its vast rocket arsenal.
This occurs within the context of parallel Israeli attacks on 2 Iranian nuclear facilities and steel plants, a campaign aimed at degrading Iran's military-industrial complex. The status quo of managed conflict is untenable under the current US-Israeli war aims, forcing a more direct and high-risk confrontation with Iran's network of allies.
A coordinated axis of resistance mobilizes. Iranian vows for a heavy price and Houthi threats reveal a synchronized, multi-theater response strategy. The strategic deep dive reveals a complex, interdependent response mechanism being activated by Iran and its allied factions.
Iran's vow to extract a heavy price is not an isolated threat, but a directive to its regional network, encompassing Hezbollah's military response, Houthi interventions in maritime lanes, and potential actions by Iraqi militias. The Houthi warning specifically positions them as a ready instrument to open another front, likely targeting commercial shipping or US assets in the Red Sea, thereby stretching US naval resources and global economic stability.
This creates a compound crisis for the US and Israel, who must now contend with simultaneous escalation in Lebanon, Yemen, and within Iran itself, while domestic political narratives, as seen in Trump-era policy debates referenced in the content, question the war's legality and public saleability.
Verdict: the inevitability of uncontrolled escalation. The current trajectory points toward a protracted, expanding regional war with severe global, economic and security repercussions. The strategic verdict is that the window for a contained, weeks-long conflict is closing rapidly.
The Beirut strike, and the explicit threats from Iran, and the Houthis indicate that all parties are preparing for a longer, more destructive confrontation. The immediate risk is a massive Hezbollah rocket barrage into northern Israel, potentially involving precision-guided munitions targeting critical infrastructure.
Furthermore, Houthi intervention could trigger a significant disruption to global energy shipping, spiking oil prices and inviting direct US naval engagement. The next steps involve monitoring for kinetic responses from Hezbollah and the Houthis within days, while the political sustainability of the US-Israeli campaign will be tested against rising costs and the looming question of ground troop deployment, which current rhetoric denies but future realities may demand.